Okay, this is just a short video on Trump and auditing the Federal Reserve. And to pose the question that others have asked, why all of a sudden is Trump getting on board with auditing the Fed? Because it seems to me that in regards to Trump, although there's pros and cons with him, just like anybody else or any other candidate, the auditing of the Fed, you ask yourself, or I ask myself, is it genuine? The idea behind auditing the Fed, obviously, is audit it and, in the end, end it. End the Fed, end its monopoly on money, end its monopoly so that it can just be like a commercial bank down the street where it has no ties to government and currency. So number one, is that really Trump's intention, or is he pandering? Because although Trump has some positive aspects to him, I think you have to ask yourself, is he or any other candidate serious about abolishing the Federal Reserve, about abolishing the IRS? Anyone can go and look up the Grace Commission online, as I continue to say over and over, and see that the Grace Commission proved that no federal income tax monies are going to pay off or pay for infrastructure to run the country. Those monies are going towards paying off the interest on the national debt. And even when the country does not carry an enormous debt like we have now, it is a debt-based system. Even if we have no debt, you have the system of the Federal Reserve and the Treasury, and money is printed up out of thin air and loaned to the government at interest. So in essence, the debt will never be paid back. It can't, because you constantly have to take out new loans to pay off the already existing money that's owed back to the Fed. And it's a continuous loop. It'll never end. So ask yourself, with candidates like Trump. Trump goes on to Alex Jones all the time in InfoWars. As somebody else pointed out that I noticed, InfoWars didn't even bother to cover the fact, I don't believe, that Trump is opposed, as you know, to the Apple and their resistance to giving up things to the FBI, to help the FBI in regards to the iPhones of the San Bernardino shooters and terrorists. As somebody else pointed out to me, if the FBI wasn't able to do anything beforehand to spot these kinds of people, these terrorists, which I understand it's got to be really hard, then why is it expected that people's privacy rights should be violated? If Apple gives the FBI what they want, is that going to stop at just one or two phones that those San Bernardinos, the couple, used for communications? No, I don't believe so. It's gonna go beyond one or two phones. So Apple's doing the right thing. They are protecting their business, they're protecting their customers, because they want to make money. And in the end, and in the process, that means that they're protecting privacy of individuals. Why wouldn't they want to protect their business and their money and want to keep customers? That's what businesses are all about. It's just like the TSA. The reason why that's wrong is because the airlines should be privatized. Maybe they are to some extent, but you don't need a government agency like the TSA being the ones that have to take the burden of screening for terrorists. We need the private companies that, in that case, in any case, that's just an example. We need the private companies to do that for themselves because they will look out for their own business and their own welfare and their own money. And in doing so, they will be forced to protect their customers. You could run into this with any kind of example. Uber, any kind of car, transportation, or things like that. There's always a risk. And who takes the burden of that risk? It's the private company. So ask yourself in the end, is Trump legitimate when he wants to audit the Fed? And go beyond that, are any of these candidates sincere? Some claim to want to get rid of the IRS, but they want to replace it with something else. Why replace it with anything? So ask that of every candidate.